The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Saint Luke. In the days of King Herod of Judea, there lived a priest called Zechariah, who belonged to Abijah section of the priesthood. And he had a wife, Elizabeth by name, who was a descendant of Aaron. Both were worthy in the sight of God, and scrupulously observed all the commandments and observances of the Lord. But they were childless. Elizabeth was barren, and they were both getting on in years. Now it was the turn of Zechariah's section to serve, and he was exercising his priestly office before God, and it fell to him by lot, as the ritual custom was, to enter the Lord's sanctuary and burn incense there. And at the hour of incense, the whole congregation was outside praying. Then there appeared to him the angel of the Lord, standing on the right of the altar of incense. The sight disturbed Zechariah, and he was overcome with fear. But the angel said to him, "Zechariah, do not be afraid. Your prayer has been heard. Your wife Elizabeth is to bear you a son, and you must name him John. He will be your joy and delight, and many will rejoice at his birth, for he will be great in the sight of the Lord. He must drink no wine, no strong drink. Even from his mother's womb, he will be filled with the Holy Spirit, and he will bring back many of the sons of Israel to the Lord their God. With the spirit and power of Elijah, he will go before him to turn the hearts of fathers towards their children, and the disobedient back to the wisdom that the virtuous have, preparing for the Lord a people fit for him." Zechariah said to the angel, "How can I be sure of this? I am an old man, and my wife is getting on in years." The angel replied, "I am Gabriel, who stand in God's presence, and I have been sent to speak to you and bring you this good news. Listen, since you have not believed my words, which will come true at their appointed time. You will be silenced and have no power of speech until this has happened." Meanwhile, the people were waiting for Zechariah and were surprised that he stayed in the sanctuary so long. When he came out, he could not speak to them, and they realized that he had received a vision in the sanctuary. But he could only make signs to them and remained dumb. When his time of service came to an end, he returned home. Some time later, his wife Elizabeth conceived, and for 5 months she kept to herself. "The Lord has done this for me," she said, "now that it has pleased him to take away the humiliation I suffered among men." The Gospel of the Lord. My dear brothers and sisters, if you trust the Lord, miracles do happen. We see in both the passages read to us today, elderly couple receiving the good news of having a child. In the first reading, it was Manoah's wife, Samson's mother. "I am with you. I will take away your humiliation. Your son will be a Nazarite. His hair will not be cut off. He will not take strong drink. I am going to fill him with my power to liberate my people from the Philistines." Beautiful message. Accordingly, she conceived and gave birth to Samson. In today's Gospel, Zechariah and Elizabeth, people very old, waiting and waiting for something to happen in their life. Let us look at these relatives of Jesus, their qualities. The Gospel tells us both were worthy in the sight of God. Sometimes we may be thinking, I did not do any harm to anyone. Why the Lord is testing me, making me suffer? Nothing seems to happen in my home. See, even people who are worthy in the sight of Lord may be waiting and waiting for God's intervention. Are we worthy in the sight of the Lord? And then it is also said, and they scrupulously observed all the commandments and observances of the Lord. Delicate conscience, clean conscience, scrupulously, I should observe the commandment of the Lord. That is the life of Zachariah and Elizabeth. But they were childless. Sometimes we are poor, we have emotional problems, financial problems, family problems. In spite of the fact that we are not unworthy, in spite of the fact that we observe scrupulously all the commandments of the Lord. But then ultimately the Lord intervenes and gives a child. And what are the qualities of this child? We have been hearing about John the Baptist throughout the week. And then even after Christmas, the readings are about John the Baptist only, mostly. And in today's Gospel alone, some of the qualities. About the child, it is told to Zechariah, he will be great in the sight of the Lord. There was Herod, who was 41 years king. There was Caesar Augustus, another 42 years king. The Lord did not call them great. He is calling the son of Zechariah and Elizabeth, he will be great in the sight of the Lord. He will be committed. He will be filled with the Holy Spirit. He will proclaim my word. So many things in today's Gospel passage alone. The angel Gabriel foretells the qualities of John the Baptist. What is important is to be great in the sight of the Lord, to be committed, to be filled with the Spirit, to speak what the Lord wants us to speak. I used to say about Mother Mary, inspired by Saint Pope John Paul II. What did Mary do? Speak of the world to Jesus. Speak of Jesus to the world. Do what he tells you. Speak of Jesus to the world. They have no wine. Speak of the world to Jesus. He will turn the hearts of people towards God. That is our whole occasion. By our life and conduct, turn people towards God like John the Baptist. Wonderful. Look at Manoah and his wife. Look at Zachariah and Elizabeth. Look at John the Baptist. Let us be transformed by these personalities to trust in the Lord more and more and wait for the Lord to do wonders in our lives by a life of trust. Amen. In the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit.